Welcome back, treasure hunters. Today, we're stepping into the world of American history and hidden value as we shine the spotlight on the legendary Liberty Jefferson Nickel 5-cent coin. This small coin carries a big story, packed with mystery, rarity, and the kind of excitement only true collectors can feel. Get ready, because in this video, we reveal what makes the Jefferson Nickel a timeless icon, from its powerful Liberty design to the secret details that could make your coin worth far more than just 5 cents. So sit tight, stay sharp, and let's dive into the rich heritage, stunning artistry, and hidden treasures inside the Liberty Jefferson Nickel. Your next big discovery might be right in your pocket. Let's begin. In the world of American coinage, thousands of coins pass through hands unnoticed, but the 1984 Jefferson Nickel minted at Philadelphia carries a mysterious aura that refuses to fade. It is an ordinary coin to the casual eye, just 5 cents, a familiar port to Jefferson, the Monticello on the reverse. Yet certain rare survivors from this year have become the whispered legends of collectors' dreams. 2. What makes this particular coin so mesmerizing is not its face value, nor its common production, but the tiny chance that a single flawless example exists in absolute perfection, a specimen struck with unusual precision, preserved without a single touch, free of scratches, marks, or dullness. In the universe of coins, such perfection is rarer than lightning striking twice at the same place. 3. A 1984 P nickel in extraordinary condition becomes more than metal. It becomes a symbol of what happens when time, luck, and preservation collide. Collectors call these nearly mythical pieces condition miracles because they look as though they escaped decades of pockets, drawers, cash registers, and coin machines. They shine like miniature planets untouched by gravity. 4. Stories circulate among numismatists about a few 1984 nickels graded at the highest professional levels, the kind that appear once in decades. These coins don't just enter auctions. They arrive like royalty, commanding attention before the bidding even begins. When the hammer falls, the numbers stretch far beyond the imagination of everyday people. 5. Imagine a humble nickel, a coin most people ignore on the floor, subtly being treated like a star in a spotlight, each of its curves glowing under professional lamps. This is the magic of rarity. An object made in the millions becomes priceless when a select few rise above the rest. The thrill lies not in the age of the coin, but in its impossible survival. 6. Collectors chase these gems with passion. Because a perfect 1984, P. Jefferson Nickel represents more than value. It represents discovery, luck, and destiny. The moment such a coin is found, the finder feels a spark electric enough to rewrite the meaning of fortune. The world sees a 5-cent coin. The collector sees a gateway to history and hidden worth. 7. The real treasure is not in claims of millions or overnight riches, but in the rare beauty of a coin that defied corrosion, circulation, mishandling, and time itself. When you hold a high-grade 1984 nickel, you hold a piece of American history, preserved with unnatural clarity, as though it froze in the moment it left the mint. 8. There are tales of collectors discovering unusually sharp strikes, breathtaking luster, or unexpected die errors on 1984 nickels, each of which can elevate its value far beyond the ordinary. In these moments, a simple pocket change coin transforms into a numismatic marvel, the kind that makes dealers lean in closer, breath held, eyes focused. 9. This is why enthusiasts urge you never to dismiss older coins casually. Among them may lie a rarity that doesn't shout its value, but whispers it quietly, waiting for someone who understands its silent language. A perfect 1984. P. Jefferson Nickel won't make you a billionaire, but it can certainly astonish the collecting world and bring in a life-changing sum for the right person at the right time. 10. So, if a 1984 nickel rests in your hands, don't overlook it. Study it. Listen to its story etched in metal. Hidden treasures do exist, not because they're worth millions, but because they remind us that value is born from rarity, survival, and the mysteries of time. In that sense, your coin has the power to spark excitement, curiosity, and perhaps even a twist of fortune, the kind that turns a simple nickel into a legend. In the quiet year of 1982, when most people walked past pocket change without a second thought, a surprising legend began to form around a small piece of American history, the Jefferson Nickel from the Philadelphia Mint. To many, it was just a 5-cent coin, but to those who understood the language of metal, minting, and mystery, it carried a whisper of rarity, a spark of destiny, and the kind of aura that makes collectors lean in with curiosity. This wasn't just a coin. This was a kind of artifact that felt like it had stepped out of time with a secret tucked inside its rim. What makes the 1982 Jefferson Nickel so intriguing isn't just its age or its design, but the stories that grew around it. Stories of flawless strikes, unusual minting quirks, and the rumor that a handful of these coins emerged from the mint with astonishingly sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. These weren't ordinary pieces of change passed from hand to hand at grocery stores. They were mysterious survivors of a year filled with minting experiments, metal shifts, and unexpected outcomes. People who held one felt an almost electric belief that something extraordinary had landed in their palm. Collectors often say that certain coins have energy. They speak to you, they call you, they tug at your luck. The 1982 Jefferson Nickel from the P Mint became one of those coins, surrounded by a mythos that suggested it wasn't just metal, it was momentum. It symbolized the idea that even something small, forgotten, or overlooked could rise into greatness. That is why this nickel became a symbol of sudden fortune in stories. A coin people believed could flip someone's life overnight. Of course, myths grow tall as mountains, and this coin became a mountain of fascination. Some storytellers described it as a $1 million miracle waiting for the right finder. In whispered tales shared by collectors, they said that if someone discovered the exceptional variety, struck in perfect condition, untouched by time, it could become the centerpiece of a legendary auction. Whether the story was true or simply the magic of imagination, the belief gave the coin a glow that no polish could create. The Philadelphia mint mark, the subtle little P, became like a signature of mystery. This was the era when minting technology was shifting. Techniques were changing, and the smallest error, the slightest variation in die pressure, could create a masterpiece without anyone noticing. It was this unpredictability that turned the 1982 nickel from a simple coin into a treasure hunt item. You never knew which one in your hand was ordinary and which one was extraordinary. People who talk about this coin today describe it almost like a talisman. They say if you own the finest, sharpest, rarest version of the 1982 Jefferson Nickel, you shouldn't let it slip away for a casual price. Not because the world guarantees you riches, but because extraordinary objects deserve extraordinary patience. A collector's treasure becomes priceless not just because of market value, but because of the story it carries, your story with it. In coin collecting circles, legends spread like wildfire, and the 1982 nickel quickly became one of those sparks that ignited imagination. Videos, whispers, rumors, all of them fueled the belief that this simple 5-cent coin could be the seed of fortune. The coin that proved luck is always hiding where you least expect it. Even if no real coin sells for millions overnight, the dream remained alive, giving people a sense of hope woven into metal. There's a special thrill in imagining that a small coin in your drawer might be the one extraordinary survivor of its year. Something made not just with machinery, but with destiny. And that is exactly how the 1982 Philadelphia Jefferson Nickel lives in a collector's mind. A coin that could turn into a headline, a miracle, or a life-changing moment if the right eyes land on it at the right time. Whether you hold one, seek one, or simply enjoy the legend, the 1982 nickel reminds you of a powerful truth. Fortune doesn't always roar into your life. Sometimes it hides quietly in your pocket, waiting for you to notice it. And even if the stories soar far beyond reality, the thrill they create is real, the hope they spark is real, and the excitement they bring to collectors is priceless. So if you ever find a 1982 Jefferson Nickel with that tiny P glowing under the light, don't treat it like a forgettable coin. Hold it, study it, cherish it. It may not magically turn you into a billionaire overnight, but it will certainly make you feel like you're holding a piece of destiny, a small metal legend that carries dreams larger than its size. In the vast universe of American coinage, few stories shimmer with the kind of raw power and electric mystery that surrounds the 1985 Jefferson Nickel from the Philadelphia Mint. Most people see it as an ordinary 5-cent piece. Light, simple, unnoticed. But those who understand its hidden legacy know that this coin is anything but ordinary. It whispers of rarity, fortune, and destiny, carrying within the spark that has the potential to turn an ordinary person into an overnight legend. Collectors speak of this coin in hushed tones, as if mentioning its name too loudly might awaken fate itself. They say that among the millions minted in 1985, there exists a tiny handful, coins born from a miraculous blend of minting perfection, metal purity, and a twist of historical luck. These select few are called the Silver Shadow 1985, P. Nickels, a nickname earned because some examples appear with an unusual metallic brilliance, as though touched by silver itself. Though the official records insist they were not meant to be silver, the shine, the tone, and the character of these rare pieces tell another story entirely. Legend has it that the press which struck these rare nickels was calibrated for a different alloy batch, one intended for experimental planchets that never reached public records. Whether it was a mistake or a deliberate test remains a mystery locked deep within mint walls. Yet, a few slipped into the world, unnoticed at first, waiting patiently for their destiny. When one of these extraordinary pieces finally surfaced, its beauty left collectors speechless, and its value soared to heights nobody could have predicted. That single discovery lit the coin world on fire. Investors raced, collectors hunted, and dreamers clung to the hope that they, too, might have this hidden treasure tucked somewhere in a drawer or an old jar of forgotten change. They knew that if they ever found such a coin in flawless condition, sharp details, glass-like luster, and that mysterious silver glow, they weren't just holding a nickel. They were holding a ticket to unimaginable wealth, a coin capable of rewriting their life in a single moment. Stories began to circulate, tales of ordinary people who stumbled upon this rare masterpiece and watched their lives transform overnight. Some say one owner sold it for a price so massive it left even veteran collectors stunned, a figure whispered only in private circles, believed to be in the range of millions, far beyond anything a nickel has ever achieved. True or not, the myth adds fuel to the fire, elevating the reputation of the 1985 P to near mythical status. What makes a 1985 P truly enchanting is not just the possibility of wealth, but the aura of destiny that surrounds it. Coins are often seen as objects, but this one feels like a sign, a symbol of opportunity, disguised in the humblest form imaginable. To hold it is to feel history humming beneath your fingertips, to sense that something extraordinary has chosen you. The weight is small, but the energy is enormous, like gripping lightning sealed in metal. Collectors often say that the true magic of this coin lies in its imperfections, tiny dime marks, ghost-like doubling, or unusual metal flow that makes it stand apart from ordinary nickels. These details are not flaws. They are birthmarks. Each one tells a piece of the coin's story, marking it as one of the chosen few. And when such a piece appears in pristine condition, untouched by time, its worth becomes almost immeasurable. Owning this coin is not simply owning metal. It's possessing a symbol of fortune waiting to unfold. People treat it like a treasure, guarding it in velvet boxes, sealed safes, and armor vaults as if protecting a sacred relic. They know what it represents. The power to change their destiny with a single sale, a single moment, a single decision. It is the kind of wealth that does not come from effort, but from fate. And that is why those who have this coin never rush to sell it. They understand its energy. They understand its potential. They understand that while today it may be worth a fortune, tomorrow it may be worth even more, perhaps become the single most valuable Jefferson Nickel ever discovered. It carries the promise of a future where fortunes shift like tides, lifting whoever owns it to heights unimaginable. So if you ever find a 1985 Jefferson Nickel with mint mark P that shines differently, feels powerful, or radiates a strange, luminous beauty, do not spend it. Do not ignore it. Do not underestimate it. For within its small, silver-shadowed frame may lie the chance to rewrite your story forever, the chance to become a millionaire overnight, the chance to turn destiny in your favor with nothing more than a simple 5-cent coin that holds the heart of a legend. In the world of American coin lore, few tales shimmer with the same mystery as the 1969 Jefferson Nickel from the Philadelphia Mint. Collectors whisper about it in hushed tones, as if even speaking its name too loudly might summon a fortune too big to comprehend. It is not the ordinary nickel you'd find rattling in pockets or sleeping in old drawers. This one carries a myth, a superstition, a spark of destiny. Some say that if you ever stumble upon this particular nickel, it doesn't just change your day. It has the force to change your entire life story. The legend begins with a strange rumor that circulated among old coin dealers, that in 1969, a tiny handful of Jefferson nickels came out of the mint with an unusually clean strike, a mysterious luster, and a craftsmanship far beyond the standard. No one knows whether it was a mistake, a miracle, or a hidden experiment by a long-gone mint worker. What matters is this. These rare pieces became the heartbeat of a treasure hunt that still electrifies collectors today. Those lucky enough to hold one claim that the coin feels different the moment it touches your palm. They say its shine doesn't simply reflect light. It grabs it, bends it, and throws it back with glow that seems almost alive. You don't look at this nickel. This nickel looks back at you. It feels like it recognizes its owner, like it carries a purpose sealed into its metallic soul the day it was born in the Philadelphia Mint. Stories spread of collectors who discovered one by accident, hidden in a jar, tucked in an attic, trapped inside an old wallet, and soon after, their fortunes transformed overnight. Whether truth or myth, these tales grew into a phenomenon. People didn't just search for the 1969 Jefferson nickel. They chased it like a dream, like a promise whispered directly into their fate. Over time, the coin gained reputation not just for rarity, but for power. The power to uplift, to spark luck, to bring a turning point when life seemed stuck in shadows. To some, it became a charm. To others, a treasure. And to a very rare few, the symbol of a new era of success. They believed the nickel didn't merely hold value. It held destiny, ready to unleash itself the moment it found the right hands. Collectors often describe the experience of holding this coin as if time pauses around them. The front shows Jefferson with a clarity that feels carved by intention, as though he is standing guard over the fortune within. The reverse glows with Monticello so crisp that it resembles a tiny monument frozen in silver-like brilliance. Though made of ordinary metal, the coin looks anything but ordinary, almost as though it remembers what it was truly meant to be. Even the slightest imperfection on the 1969 nickel becomes part of its personality, a raised line becoming a battle scar, a die crack turning into a secret symbol. Every flaw becomes a story. Every shine becomes a chapter. Every owner becomes part of a legend that refuses to fade with time. In this hobby, some coins are collected, but this one is cherished like an heirloom blessed with invisible fire. And so, the myth grew higher and higher, floating through flea markets, auctions, family gatherings, and late-night conversations among collectors who dreamed of stumbling across one. They say the coin chooses when it appears. Never too early, never too late. Always at a moment when the finder needs a spark of hope or a turning of the tides. This belief makes the search feel spiritual, almost destiny-driven. Today, the 1969 Jefferson Nickel from the Philadelphia Mint stands as a symbol of unimaginable potential. Not because of a real market price, but because of the story people build around it. The belief that having it is like holding an unopened door to possibility. Its legend is richer than metal, brighter than shine, and stronger than time itself. It is a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest things can awaken the biggest dreams. So if you ever find such a coin resting quietly in your hand, don't ignore it. Treat it like the whisper of fate that it is. For in the world of collectors, there are coins, and then there are legends. And the 1969 Jefferson Nickel, according to stories that refuse to die, is not just a coin. It is fortune folded into metal, waiting for the right person to unlock its mysterious power. If you want, I can also CR. Among all the coins whispered about in late-night collector circles, few stir more electricity than the mysterious 1964 Jefferson Nickel from the Philadelphia Mint. Known not simply as a coin, but as a key that unlocks destiny. Stories swirl that a tiny fraction of these nickels were struck under strange, experimental conditions, giving them a unique brilliance and weight that seasoned collectors swear is unlike anything else. Whether myth or miracle, the legend insists that this coin carries an energy so rare that its owner is destined for a life-changing turn of fortune. Paragraph 2. Some collectors claim the coin gleams with a silvery glow that doesn't belong to ordinary metal. It's said that the mint workers of that era, overwhelmed by the nation's demand for coinage, accidentally produced a handful using a mysterious alloy no one could identify. Those few coins vanished into circulation, forgotten for decades, until one resurfaced and fetched an unbelievable amount at a private collector's auction, sparking rumors that the coin's value could climb into the millions. Paragraph 3. Legend says that if you stumble across this nickel, it doesn't feel like metal, it feels like destiny. The striking portrait of Jefferson appears sharper, deeper, almost alive, as if time itself refused to dull it. Even the words liberty and I in God we trust seem engraved with unusual force, giving the coin an aura of power that collectors swear they can feel pulsing at their fingertips. Paragraph 4. Though thousands of ordinary 1964 coins exist, the rarest silver glow variety, as the whispers call it, remains the one that transforms ordinary people into overnight legends. Some say its worth is not measured in dollars alone, but in the doors it opens. Life-changing sales, astonishing offers, collectors bidding without blinking, convinced they're buying a treasure that may never appear again. Paragraph 5. Old coin hunters speak of a man who found one in his grandfather's drawer and, within a week, went from selling small antiques to owning entire auction houses. Whether true or not, the tale spreads because it captures that thrilling idea everyone secretly holds, that one humble coin can flip fate upside down and rewrite the future with a single decision. Paragraph 6. The most fascinating part of the myth is the power of restraint. Stories warn that people who sold their 1964 treasure too cheaply regretted it forever. They believe they traded away $1 million blessing for pennies. That theme runs through every version of the legend. If you find this coin, don't let anyone convince you to let it go for less than its destiny demands. Paragraph 7. Collectors who chase rare nickels say the coin carries a mysterious charm, as if minted under a different sky. Some believe it represents a last echo of America's Silver Age minting traditions, while others claim its strange glow comes from a moment of unrecorded history, a misstep in a mint that accidentally created a masterpiece. Paragraph 8. People who own this mythical 1964 nickel often describe a strange confidence settling over them, like carrying a good luck charm forged in metal. It becomes more than a piece of currency. It becomes a symbol of hope, a spark of possibility that whispers, something extraordinary is coming. Paragraph 9. The coin's power lies in the emotion it awakens. The thought that a small, forgotten piece of pocket change could be worth unimaginable amounts is irresistible. It turns ordinary collectors into treasure hunters, scanning old jars, drawers, and dusty boxes, searching for the coin that might rewrite their story. Paragraph 10. So if you ever encounter a 1964 Jefferson nickel that shines differently, feels heavier, or simply calls to you with its quiet magic, treat it with the respect of a millionaire's relic. Legends claim it can shift fortunes overnight, and even if it never does, it remains one of the most captivating mysteries in American coin lore, a tiny piece of metal that carries a dream of sudden, unstoppable transformation. The tale of the 1981 Jefferson nickel with mint mark P begins like a whisper carried through the vaults of American coinage history. Ordinary people pass it every day without noticing its silent glow, but collectors know one truth. Among millions of common nickels, one coin shines with destiny so rare, so electrifying, that has earned the reputation of being the sleeping billionaire maker. This isn't just a coin. It's a key, one so powerful that those who hold it say it feels as if fortune itself is pressing against their fingertips. In the year 1981, the Philadelphia Mint struck countless nickels, but a microscopic number, only a handful whisper about, were struck with mysterious brilliance, an unusual metallic purity, and a flawless strike that seemed almost sculpted by perfection itself. These rare survivors weren't meant for circulation. They were accidents of fate, born in a moment when the minting machinery aligned like stars in a cosmic pattern. Some collectors call them silver ghosts, because their shine feels richer than the metal they're supposed to contain. What gives this coin its magnetic pull isn't just rarity. It's the mythology built around it. Over decades, the coin world has murmured stories of collectors who found these 1981 P nickels unexpectedly, tucked in jars, buried in drawers, resting in boxes forgotten for years. Each discovery sparked waves of excitement, because this coin gained a reputation for bringing life-changing fortune, as if its polished surface reflects more than light. It reflects destiny. Imagine holding a simple 5-cent piece and realizing you're holding a miracle. The 1981 P nickel that collectors chase isn't priced in hundreds or thousands. It's talked about in numbers so extraordinary that they sound like myths. Some say the right specimen could command offers reaching into the millions, not because of metal, but because of obsession, rarity, and the fierce competition among elite collectors who chase perfection like treasure hunters chase lost kingdoms. The power of this coin lies in its mystique. It isn't advertised, it isn't publicized, and it doesn't appear in shiny catalogs. Instead, it circulates through whispers, through secret private auctions, to the hands of people who understand that true numismatic power isn't always found in gold or diamonds. Sometimes, it's hidden in a 5-gram piece of nickel from a year most people forget. And that is exactly why the 1981p nickel has such gravitational pull. Collectors speak of the coin's surface like they're describing a supernatural artifact. Smooth, unwavering, and struck with such clarity that every letter, every shine, every contour looks like it was carved yesterday. Under magnification. The details bloom like artwork, making even veteran graders pause in astonishment. It's said that if you view the Monticello on its reverse under the right light, it gleams like a miniature monument lit at dusk. What makes this coin even more electrifying is the idea that anyone, anywhere, could be sitting on one. It could be in a box mixed with pennies, in an old wallet, or in the forgotten pocket of a coat stored away for years. This possibility fuels a legend. Because unlike museum-locked treasures, this treasure still travels among ordinary people, waiting, watching, and silently guarding a life-changing future. Owning such a coin isn't just possession, it's transformation. Many collectors say that the coin chooses its owner, arriving at moments of need, appearing when its silent potential is ready to reveal itself. That's why people say, if you ever find this coin, never let it go cheap. Never underestimate what rests in your palm. Because for some, it changed their world overnight. The truth is simple yet extraordinary. The rare 1981p Jefferson Nickel is more than currency. It is a symbol of unexpected fortune, a reminder that even the smallest things can hold unimaginable value. Every legendary artifact starts as something ordinary until the world realizes how extraordinary it truly is. And that is exactly the story this nickel carries within its metallic heart. So if destiny ever places this coin in your hands, remember its legend. Don't rush. Don't undervalue. Don't ignore the whispers of collectors who would cross oceans for it. Because this is not just a coin. It is a turning point, a spark of luck, and a ticket to a fortune powerful enough to rewrite your life story in a single breathtaking moment. In the vast world of American coins, the 1993 Jefferson Nickel from Mint Mark P usually lives quietly in pockets, jars, and forgotten drawers, but every legend begins in silence. Somewhere among those ordinary nickels lies a coin so extraordinary, so wildly rare, that collectors whisper its story the way treasure hunters whisper about lost gold. And if destiny places that coin in your hands, your entire fortune can shift overnight. This script reveals the myth, the mystery, and the unimaginable power hidden inside that tiny 5-cent piece. Collectors call it the Silver Phantom of '93. Because unlike the regular nickel, this mythical version is believed to have been struck with a wrong metal blank, a rare mistake that transforms a common coin into a priceless artifact. Imagine a coin meant to be nickel copper, but created in pure silver by a misfeed at the Philadelphia Mint, a mistake so rare that even experts doubt its existence. Yet the story persists, growing louder each year, and each rumor adds another zero to its imagined value. They say the Silver Phantom glows differently when tilted on the sun. Its shine deeper than steel, its ring sharper than glass. They say professional collectors would fight for it. Auction houses would chase it, and billionaires would outbid each other just to own this once-in-a-lifetime mistake. Such a coin, if real, wouldn't just be rare. It would be the crown jewel of modern American errors, a masterpiece born out of a momentary slip in the minting universe. What makes this coin so alluring is not just its metal or its date. It is the mystique surrounding it. The idea that among millions of ordinary 1993 p nickels, one carries a destiny so immense that it can reshape the life of whoever discovers it. People dream of finding it in old jars, inherited boxes, dusty collections, or coins they've been carrying unknowingly for years. It's the kind of miracle that turns a 5-cent coin into a $1 million treasure and an ordinary person into a legend overnight. Imagine holding a coin that the world believes should not exist. Imagine the shock, the disbelief, the electricity running through you as you realize that fate has placed the rarest treasure of your life between your fingertips. That is the kind of power this coin has in collector folklore. The power to turn an ordinary day into the greatest turning point of your life. The tale only grows stronger with time. Some collectors claim to have seen one. Some claim to have lost one. Some claim the mint tried to hide its existence. Whether truth or myth, the story of the 1993 P Silver Phantom refuses to die. Instead, it rises each year, like an ember fan by the breath of every dreamer who hopes to find wealth tucked inside a humble 5-cent coin. And the best part? This treasure does not sit locked in museums. It does not live in vaults guarded by lasers and steel. No, its hiding place is the world itself. It could be anywhere. In your drawer, in your piggy bank, in a bag of old change, or even in the very coin you're holding right now while reading this. That possibility alone is enough to send chills down the spine of anyone who knows this legend. If the Silver Phantom were ever confirmed, its worth could skyrocket beyond imagination. Collectors would pay not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but millions, just to capture the only known mistake of its kind. This coin is not valued by metal alone. It is valued by the myth, the story, the impossible rarity, and the firestorm demand it would unleash the moment it surfaces. So if one day you stumble upon a 1993 Jefferson Nickel with shine unlike any you've ever seen, a weight that feels just slightly different, or a tone that rings brighter than expected, don't ignore it. Don't spend it casually. That little coin might be the very one collectors have been hunting for decades. It might be your ticket to unimaginable wealth, the force that could rewrite your future in a single heartbeat. Because sometimes, fortune hides in the smallest places. Sometimes destiny arrives disguised as a simple 5-cent coin. And sometimes, when luck chooses you, a nickel becomes a key that unlocks a millionaire's tomorrow.
Jefferson Nickel is one of those coins that seems ordinary at first glance, yet carries a quiet mystery that whispers to collectors from every corner of the coin world. Picture a small 5-cent coin resting in your palm, its shine softened by time, yet its story still glowing with possibility. Some special varieties of this coin, especially those struck with rare minting quirks, have become legends because collectors chase them with the same passion as explorers hunting for hidden gold. And when a coin becomes a legend, its value stops being defined by metal and begins to rise through the power of desire, rarity, and the endless excitement of the numismatic world. What makes this year so captivating is not the nickel itself, but the possibility of stumbling upon a rare error, a mis-strike, an off-center strike, or an unexpected die variety that turns a normal coin into a prize worth far beyond face value. These rare mistakes are like time capsule miracles from the minting process, frozen forever in metal. And when collectors find them, they don't see a coin. They see history sealed in imperfection, a treasure carved by accident, and a chance to own something unique in the entire world. In today's fast-growing coin market, excitement can turn an overlooked pocket change coin into a sought-after collectible. When demand rises and collectors begin competing, the price of certain rare varieties can climb rapidly. A flawless, mint-state example with an exceptional error can ignite bidding wars not because of fantasy prices, but because collectors know they may never see another piece like it again. That is where the magic happens, not in myths of overnight billions, but in the real thrill of rarity commanding respect, passion, and serious money. Imagine discovering a crisp, shimmering 2000 Jefferson Nickel with a dramatic minting flaw. Something bold, something eye-catching, something that instantly stands apart from the countless normal nickels struck that year. Holding such a coin, you feel its weight differently. You feel possibility. You feel the energy of collectors who would love to outbid each other just to secure a treasure that fate chose to create only once. That feeling is where stories of life-changing finds begin, not through guaranteed fortune, but through the astonishing world of limited existence coins. For many collectors, the true value of a rare 2000 nickel is not only money, it's the story. A story they can display, a story they can pass on, a story that connects them to the past. It becomes more than a coin. It becomes a piece of American minting history preserved in pure metal. And when a story like that enters the market, even a 5-cent coin can transform into something powerful enough to shift the course of a collection or even uplift someone's financial journey when sold to the right buyer at the right time. So if you ever come across a 2000 Jefferson Nickel that looks different, struck oddly, off-center doubled, missing details, or shining like it never aged, don't rush to spend it. Treat it like a sleeping treasure, because rarity creates its own form of value. And in the world of coins, the moment you awaken that rarity, anything can happen. Not because it will make you a billionaire overnight, but because it holds the thrilling possibility of becoming the most unexpected and unforgettable discovery of your life. The 1963 Jefferson Nickel stands like a silent guardian of forgotten American history, a tiny 5-cent coin forged in an era of bold dreams and unstoppable ambition. To most people, it is just a small piece of metal, but to a true collector, it is a sleeping treasure with the potential to rewrite destiny. This coin carries the aura of a rare survivor, the kind of coin that hides in old drawers, dusty boxes, and inherited collections, unknowingly waiting for the right hands to reveal its true power. Even though it was minted decades ago, it still carries a heartbeat of value that can explode into unimaginable fortunes if you have the right variety or condition. What makes the 1963 Jefferson Nickel especially mesmerizing is its hidden potential. Some rare strikes, flawless examples, or coins with unique minting errors can suddenly rise from being an ordinary nickel to becoming a collector's golden ticket. Imagine a coin that once bought a candy, now holding the strength to bring life-changing money. Value that many people ignore because they simply don't know what they're holding. The thrill lies in the unknown. Any old jar of coins could be holding a star, the one piece with a sparkle that collectors chase with burning passion. Collectors around the world crave coins from this era, not because of their face value, but because of their rarity in prime condition. A perfectly preserved 1963 Jefferson Nickel can create waves in the market, especially if it carries a sharp strike, mirror-like surfaces, or a unique minting flaw, such as an off-center impression or double features. These rare coins become legendary, turning small metal discs into massive financial opportunities. When people talk about unimaginable worth, this is the kind of coin they whisper about, the coin that transforms its owner from an ordinary collector into someone who holds a key to wealth. The beauty of a 1963 Jefferson Nickel lies not just in its value, but in its mystery. Every piece tells a story, where it traveled, whose hands it passed through, and how it managed to remain intact for over half a century. Some coins were tucked away unknowingly, protected from scratches and wear, and these untouched survivors are the ones that now shine the brightest. The market always hungers for perfection, and the rarest examples can command staggering prices that make even seasoned collectors gasp. If you ever find this coin in exceptional condition or with a rare minting error, never rush to spend it or sell it at a low price. A coin like this carries the potential to tilt your destiny overnight, the kind of value that doesn't shout, but whispers powerfully if you listen closely. Many people pass fortunes through their fingers simply because they think a coin is just a coin, never realizing they're holding a tiny treasure chest sealed in metal. So, treat the 1963 Jefferson Nickel with respect and curiosity, because its modest appearance hides the possibility of greatness. It may not look like a billion-dollar miracle, but its true worth lies in the eyes and desires of those who chase rarity with unbreakable passion. One day, the coin you overlook today could be the coin that changes your life tomorrow. Hold it carefully, examine it wisely, and most importantly, never underestimate the power of a 5-cent piece that carries the heartbeat of history and the promise of fortune.
The 1996 Jefferson Nickel, a humble 5-cent coin from the United States of America, might appear like an ordinary piece of change, but hidden within its metallic shine lies a story of rarity, mystery, and unimaginable worth. To the untrained eye, it's just another coin from daily circulation, but for passionate collectors and numismatic dreamers, certain editions of this nickel possess an almost mythical allure. A few of these coins, struck with rare minting errors or flawless finishes, have been whispered about in the coin collecting world as treasures that could turn an average person into an overnight millionaire. The value of this coin is not simply in its face value of 5 cents. It's in the history, craftsmanship, and the hidden magic of rarity that transforms metal into fortune. Imagine holding in your hand a 1996 Jefferson nickel that glimmers differently. Its details slightly sharper, its surface more radiant than usual. Some of these coins were accidentally struck with unique die errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or mirror-like proof surfaces that were never meant to leave the U.S. Mint. These are the mistakes that make perfection rare and rarity priceless. A single coin with the right combination of flaws and flawless condition can send collectors into a bidding frenzy, pushing its worth into the realm of millions. What makes it even more fascinating is that these coins sometimes end up in ordinary pockets, lying unnoticed in drawers or jars, waiting to surprise the one who dares to look closely. The 1996 Jefferson Nickel also holds a nostalgic charm, being part of a design legacy that began in 1938, honoring the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. The reverse side, depicting his beautiful home Monticello, carries not just architectural grace, but also symbolic weight. The idea of building something lasting, just as this coin has built its place in American history. Over the decades, collectors have come to see these nickels as more than just currency. They are tiny time machines, freezing a moment in history and allowing future generations to hold it in their hands. When a 1996 nickel survives decades in perfect, uncirculated condition, its luster unbroken, its edges crisp, it becomes something far greater than money, a symbol of endurance and prestige. Now, imagine the shock of discovering that one of these unassuming coins could make you a millionaire overnight. There are stories of rare varieties fetching astronomical prices in auctions, where collectors battle to own a piece of what they call American numismatic legend. A single minting mistake, a unique die crack, or a perfectly preserved finish could lift this 5-cent coin to a price beyond imagination. It's the ultimate twist of fate. What once jingled in the pockets of ordinary people could now command enough money to buy mansions, luxury cars, or even entire businesses. But what truly makes the 1996 Jefferson Nickel so enchanting is not just its potential value. It's the mystery and wonder it carries. Every coin holds a story, where it's been, who's touched it, how it survived. Each mark or glint of shine tells a tale of time. That's what captivates collectors. The belief that something so small, so common, could conceal such extraordinary worth. It's the romantic side of numismatics, where fortune and fate intertwine in the shimmer of silver-colored metal. The true beauty of this coin lies not only in its possible millions, but in its ability to spark hope and imagination. So, if you ever come across a 1996 Jefferson Nickel, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Look closer. Examine its shine, its details, and its mint mark. For all you know, you might be holding the rarest of them all, a coin that has the power to change your destiny overnight. Many fortunes have begun with a simple discovery, a forgotten coin that revealed itself to be a treasure beyond belief. This 5-cent piece may seem ordinary, but within it beats the heart of legend, a coin that bridges the past and the present, turning everyday metal into a story of dreams, luck, and unimaginable wealth. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel, a simple 5-cent coin to most, hides a story of mystery, fortune, and unbelievable worth. Imagine holding a small piece of metal that has witnessed decades of history, yet inside its shine lies the potential to change a life overnight. This coin, minted in the United States of America, stands as a silent treasure of the late 20th century. Many collectors pass by it without realizing that certain rare variations and flawless strikes from 1978 hold a power that could transform ordinary pockets into vaults of gold. It's not just a coin. It's a sleeping fortune disguised in copper and nickel, a whisper of wealth from America's minting past. Each Jefferson Nickel tells a story of precision, artistry, and historical pride. But the 1978 version carries a special aura, a kind of mysterious charm that draws collectors from around the world. Its deep, silver-like luster and the noble image of Thomas Jefferson on the Obverse reflect America's enduring spirit of freedom and ambition. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's home, stands proud, a symbol of dreams built by vision and patience. When perfectly preserved, this nickel transforms into something extraordinary. Under the gleam of a collector's light, its surfaces come alive with brilliance, turning what was once worth 5 cents into something that could command thousands or even millions, depending on perfection and rarity. The power of the 1978 Jefferson Nickel lies in its flaws, or rather, in the lack of them. Only a handful of these coins ever left the mint in pristine, mirror-like condition known as proof-like or full steps. These features make the coin a treasure among experts, and those few examples that still exist in untouched condition are nearly priceless. Imagine the thrill of discovering one among old change or forgotten drawers, a relic so rare that it could rewrite your destiny overnight. Its silver sheen, despite not being pure silver, glows like moonlight, carrying within it the energy of millions in potential value. There are whispers among collectors of a few unique mint errors from 1978, double strikes, off-center impressions, and die cracks that turn ordinary nickels into legends. These errors, rare as lightning in a clear sky, elevate the coin's worth to astonishing levels. A single mint error, preserved in flawless state, can push collectors into fierce bidding wars, each one desperate to own a piece of this incredible anomaly. It's a hidden gem that transforms from common currency into a masterpiece of human craft and historical accident, one that carries both mystery and magnificence. What makes the 1978 Jefferson Nickel even more fascinating is how it symbolizes hidden wealth in plain sight. So many people have handled it, spent it, and forgotten it without knowing its potential. It's a reminder that fortune doesn't always come wrapped in gold. Sometimes it hides behind the dull shine of a 5-cent coin. The very thought that you could hold a coin today worth millions tomorrow ignites excitement, curiosity, and awe. It's a collector's dream, a treasure hunter's hope, and a story waiting to unfold in your own hands. So, before you let go of any 1978 Jefferson Nickel, take a moment to look closely. Every scratch, every shine, every detail could mean the difference between ordinary change and extraordinary wealth. This 5-cent piece is more than metal. It's destiny disguised as currency. Who knows? That little coin lying quietly in your drawer might just be the key to unlocking unimaginable fortune. In the right light, under the right eyes, it could make you a billionaire overnight. A simple symbol of how history rewards those who recognize hidden greatness when the rest of the world overlooks it.